Okay, so my computer crashed during a few minutes ago, and so I lost some code, lost the video, got corrupted. So this is the code, the exit code. If you watch second hour's class, they were a little behind, so they get you caught up to where the video died, and then this is what we've written that they don't have. If you have questions, send me a message on campus. So, like I was saying, so we need to get our text in the middle of the screen. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to say this rectangle. We are going to create an invisible rectangle, and we're going to position it in the middle of the screen, and then we're going to use that location to be our blit position for our text. So we have text rect equals text.getRect. And what we're going to do after that is we can do, there's a bunch of different commands you can do with text boxes. So we're going to do text rect dot center x. What do you guys think that is? What do you think it does? Centers it on the x. It's the center of the text box on the x part. And we're going to go equals screen.get_rect dot center x. So we're saying the middle of our text rectangle, the center on the x-axis, the x-coordinate, is the same as the middle of the rectangle of our screen. So mainly because I really like drawing on this whiteboard, and I think this is really cool. What we're doing is, I should probably delete some of these, but why is it making whatever? So if this is our text rectangle, Microsoft makes me look like I know exactly how to draw. So what we're doing is we're saying that this center x, this is the center in x plane or whatever. This part is going to be the same as the rectangle of that screen, so that these line up. So no matter how wide our screen is and no matter how wide this is, the middle of this will always match up with the middle of that. Cool.
You just center on the y-axis so that it's not.
Yeah. So then we do the same thing, except we find this, and we add 24 pixels. So it actually scoots. It scoots this down 24 pixels because our image has a big game over right there in the middle. So we just need to scoot it down a smidge so that it's 24 pixels greater. So copy and paste that line, the center X line. Change the X's to Y's, and then add 24. 24 is kind of arbitrary. It could be 25, 27, 29. But we'll go with 24. Now, if we want to see something on screen, what do we have to do? Blit. What's the command to blit? Screen.blit. And do we want to blit our game over screen first or our accuracy text? We want to split a game over screen first. Good job. Why is that?
Oh, I was thinking as like most people.
Okay. What? It's the layering. The first thing we blit is the thing that's furthest back. So if our screen is pure red, or let's say whatever, it's an image that we can't see through, if we have our text behind it, we can't see it. So we want it's essentially our background is the back thing, and then we have our foreground. Does anyone know off the top of the hand the dimensions of the game over screen? 640, 480, so where do we need to blit it? No. The
Minus the
0, 0. Because we blit the top left of our image at the top left of our screen. And if it's 640 by 480, it fits perfectly. Now we need to put our text on screen. What's the code? What's the command to put stuff on screen?
Wait, did we do the wrong variable for text rec?
No. Oh,
Why is one uncapitalized?
it should be uncapitalized. Thank you. So now we need to put text rect on screen
Oh, it's so bad.
at text rect. So we put the text that is the actual rendering of the string, and we're putting it at the location of text rect. So real quick, if you want to easily, actually just run it, and you'll have to wait, 30 seconds or so for the game to lose, or you can. I spelled something wrong. Accuracy. Wait.
Really smart.
You did ACC instead of accuracy in the next line. Final accuracy is ACC.
Thank you. But that's not the error I'm getting. I spelled accuracy wrong up here.
Also, you lose accuracy every time one gets past.
Oh, I lost. Accuracy is. Yeah, my accuracy code got deleted.
No. Why game over screen never appeared?
Yeah, mine just stopped.
Oh, we need to update the screen. I forgot that.
So you have to update it after everything.
No, because,
Yeah.
I just
No.
All right, so I'm going to change my code so that as soon as I get hit once, I lose 200 health.
Nice.
No.
How do you make it so it freezes and it doesn't exit out of the screen?
So this is what you guys have. It freezes and done.
Mine it X's out the thing like it just leaves.
Oh, that's weird. You must have something in there. So, the last thing we're gonna do is we need to update the screen. So pygame.display.update. Once you do that,
I didn't get an arrow.
nope, hang on.
My screen is bad.
Why is that not working? It worked in the other class. Maybe if I scoot that in. All right, hang on.
Also, the way we make accuracy isn't quite right because we make it so that if one goes off the screen without you telling it, your accuracy goes down.
No, we don't.
Well, I got a typo.
You sure?
Yep. Because it's only when an arrow hits a badger do we increase it. You might have put it in the wrong spot.
I probably did.
Mine worked.
Hang on, let me pull up the other class's code. Why would theirs work? Not yours.
Oh, there we go. You have to have it twice. Oh, that was really
Mine worked the way we had it originally.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna pause this recording until I figure this out.
Game over. Oh, mine.
Okay, so this, I have an idea. This may fix it, it may not, but we're gonna find out. So one thing we need to do is we need to
Was not me. I learned from my mistakes, which was so good. I'm
Good.
becoming a better man.
good. Whatever. So remember at the very beginning when we created our screen, but we couldn't exit out of it? We didn't code the input for what happens if they click on the X. So we're going to do that, and maybe that'll fix it. Oh, yours works. Nice. Why don't you come up here and teach, Brandon? I'm kidding. No, it's totally fine. Because my code crashed, I have no idea what could be wrong. So, yes.
Well, I was wondering, do you still have the pygame.display.update before events in pygame.event.get? Because I left mine there, and then I also added one at the bottom without an indent, and it worked.
Yeah, I still got it there.
Maybe go to the bottom and have no indent, because that works for me. I do the work if it's out of the loop.
I did that too. Well, anything after this if statement is outside of the loop. Yeah, see, it's not. I don't know what's going on. So, what we need to do is we need to do that same loop that allowed us to exit the game. So all we're going to do is we're going to scroll almost all the way to the top. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I'm sorry, not all the way to the top. To the beginning of our for event in pygame.event.get. Copy those 4 lines. For event in pygame.event.get, all the way down to exit parentheses. We're going to copy those. Don't paste them just yet. Scroll to the very, very bottom of the screen. Create a while loop. One that doesn't end. And once you have that, paste. So then, you'll put pygame.display.update inside of that second while loop, but outside of the for loop. And while you guys
Oh,
are,
I had, when I pasted mine, it had an indent, and so it was like, ended when the other one ended.
why is my, okay, that didn't fix it for me. All right, I'll have to go through and do some debugging on that. Real quick, okay, next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of that. We need to do the winning screen. The only difference between the winning screen and the losing screen is the image we blit and the color of the accuracy text. So are we going to retype all of that?
No, copy and paste. Perfect.
There we go. We're going to copy that. Don't copy the if statement. Then you can just do else. Now you couldn't do else if you had more than one, if you had more than 2 losing or winning screens. We only have 2, so if it's not A, it has to be B. But if it's not 1, it has to be 2. But if you had 4 different ways to lose or beat the game, you would need if, elif, else. Then we're just going to paste it. And again, the 2 things we're going to change is the text. If it's RGB, what does our RGB value need to be if we want it to be pure green?
Would it be 0, 2, 2, 5, 5, 0?
Yep. And what image do I need to display? You win. Okay. So for that's it for the game except for sound effects.
Do we need sound effects?
Yes, because you need to know how it works in order for your game to be a good game. And luckily, we have plenty of time for that. What's that face for, Cole?
I thought they were annoying. I keep saying
They are. That's why it's the very, very last thing we're doing. And then I'm going to politely ask you to turn off the soundtrack. I have to teach you and then I can tell you to stop. Okay, so again, I'm not sure why I am not getting an end screen. What? Now I have an end screen?
The accuracy like, doesn't work.
Oh, hang on. Why do I have that?
Like for mine, like,
Oh, because mine needs to be final underscore accuracy.
Mine says expected and indented block when I say if exit code equals 0 after the thing. You know how
So exit code, that should be 0. This should be 1. You just need to indent something or unindent something. Wherever it tells you to. If it says unexpected indent block, now it works.
I know, yeah.
No idea why that works.
Maybe it's just kind of give it a minute to update and everything.
Maybe. Okay, so again, so you guys should more or less have this. We only have a few more things we need to do. We need to load the images. We need to load the audio. We need to set the volumes. And we need to tell it where to do the sound effects. After that, you guys can run amok with your game and do whatever you want to it and edit it and change it as practice for your final. However, save this as your archived copy. So save it as something else, completed game, and then have a work in progress game or whatever. Lorian. Okay. So, we need to go to where we always load all of our info in. So we're going to go to the very, very top, where we have all of our images. So I'm going to start condensing this sort of stuff so that images, and these are all my constants and variables. That builds, that's the Pygame stuff, blah, 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 blah.
Wait, how much are we supposed to decrease his health by?
Whatever you want. A random number between 5 and 20.
Oh.
So now what we need to do is, again, we need to load in all of our info. So I am going to, that resources folder I gave you contains 2 folders. It has an image folder and an audio. You guys should have downloaded both at the same time, and they should be in the exact same spot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy the U in, and I'm going to paste 1. I'm set. Now this is more than just changing the variable name in the file locate and that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make it hit. So this is when you get hit.
wait, like we did hit?
Arrows hit the badgers. I think. Enemy, shoot. I can't remember which one does what. So, but I'll tell it to you in a sec. Yeah, Luke's like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
My health goes down sometimes after the player's been hit, or after the bad guys have been hit and like they've disappeared. It's pretty weird.
That is weird.
Health goes down when you hit a bad guy.
So then you do
Yeah,
Pygame
like 3 seconds as if it never disappeared.
mixer dot sound, capital S in sound.
My game is so good.
It's probably like an indent or something like that. But I can take a look at it once we're done. Then you need to go to the end of the line. So instead of images, what do you think it is? Audio. And
Enemy shoot, I believe.
nope. Explode.
Oh.
Explode.wav.
WAV.
Yep. So once you have that, go to the next line, copy this one and paste it twice.
Copy, paste it.
3 times. And the 4th one I'm going to throw down there for a little bit. Now we have enemy and shoot. So our 3 variables for our sound effects are hit, enemy, shoot. That is when we actually shoot an arrow, there's a sound effect. When our arrow hits the badger, and when the enemy hits our bunnies. our baby bunnies. So we have 3 sound effects. Pygame.mixer.sound, and then for each one of these, I'm going to go to the end, and instead of explode, it's enemy and shoot. And while you're here, change this one to moonlight. This is the soundtrack to your game.
This is what?
This is the music to your game, so we have to treat it slightly differently than just sound effects, because we want this to start playing the moment our game starts. We don't want it to only be a quick sound effect. Yes?
Could you scroll to the left and just so I can see what that is?
Yeah, does everyone have the file names? So we have hit, enemy, and shoot. So again, leave this alone for now. Now we're going to do hit. This is how we set how loud each thing is. How loud each sound effect is. So if you want other sound effects to be, like if you want a grenade in your game to be boom, but opening a door is, you can change the sound volume. So we're gonna do hit dot. Hang on. Save. Okay. Set underscore volume 0.05. We're going to copy that.
I use the thing where you go in the other line and copy it. You just go in the other line and copy it.
You hit shift and up and it will highlight and then you can copy it. But on my keyboard, because I have a full keyboard, I have the end and home buttons. So home takes me to the beginning of the line, end takes me to the end. And then I can also do page up and page down.
Ours says that too.
Yeah, it's just you have to hit the function key or turn it off. Alright, so we're super close, guys. There's like 4 lines left.
Yeah.
Enemy, set volume, shoot, set volume. They're all going to be the same.
Can you put that in comparison of like what like really loud would be? Like how loud is that compared to something else?
Loud.
That's loud.
I mean, that's more than sufficient. Okay, so now with our soundtrack, because we don't need it to happen at a certain time. It just starts. We don't need to put it to a variable. Yes.
You forgot to, where are we supposed to put the you know, all the accuracy stuff? Not the displaying of it, but the calculating the accuracy. Where did we put it?
Just in an if statement at the very end.
Alright, because I think I might have put it in like a game, in like a loop or something.
It's supposed to be in the loop. It doesn't have to be, but it is in my code. Okay.
I think I put it in like arrows.
Ah. So because this is not just a sound effect, but it's actually a sound track, we can't just have mixer.sound, music.load. And then just 2 lines, people. 2 lines. 2 more lines. 2 more lines. And then we're done. Perfect way to end on a Friday.
It's so sad. Like we've been working on stuff so long now. It's just done.
Yeah. So we'll refer to it later because like we may do a little bit of work on functions. And that might be another quiz. Just quiz/s. I don't know. Luke, no.
We just don't want to test. I'll just take the
Give
final
us
grade.
too many more tests, I'm gonna fail your class.
No, you're not.
Your offer of an 89, like at the beginning of the year, was probably the best offer. I'd taken an 89 and been like, yeah.
All right. Well, 2 more lines. So now, I'm gonna copy
89% of that.
pygame.mixer.music. So copy that twice. So this one loads, obviously, because it says load, loads that soundtrack, that file into our game. Then we're going to do play. So music.play, you need to give it 2 numbers. Anything that's not any positive number, it will play it that many times and then stop. If you do -1, it will play it nonstop. It'll just repeat it. So we want -1 because I can't remember how long this thing is, but the next number is you can tell it when to start that song. So if you have a song that you want to start 32.5 seconds in, you can tell it 32.5 seconds in. Now the last one is we have to set the volume 0.25. And now when you run it,
I understand why you want to turn it down.
This is how it comes in when it's all like playing this weird music.
I also don't know if like copyright I can